What's up, guys? It's your boy, JPK. But you also can call me John because, I've had this YouTube channel for a while, but it seems like I don't really post on it. So, yeah, it'd be like that. But I am starting this channel for a number of reasons. Starting this back up for a number of reasons. I was doing it on my IG a little bit. Post some old school pics. If you want to follow me on my wrestling account, it's All Pro Wrestling JPK on Instagram. You can follow my personal on John Chungus Kennedy. But that's a little bit on my social media. I'll put it in the description later. I'm here because I, compared to a lot of you, are frustrated with the current product of WWE, right? We're all frustrated. I'm frustrated. So I decided I want to start this project and look back at stuff. When I'm not too busy with school, I don't want this to be my main objective. I have school as well. I will try and do as much as I can. 1 post a day if I can. 2 if I'm lucky. I'm not going to try and spam your YouTube sub boxes with a whole bunch of videos. The most I'll go is 2 a day. I will do WWE pay-per-views and AEW stuff. I will not be doing anything outside of that. I'm keeping it simple and simple as it possibly can be. I am not watching Raw. I am not watching SmackDown. Okay? I will watch NXT every once in a while, and I'll put a review for that. I will do old school NXT reviews on here. That's what I will do. But I'm not watching the current NXT product because it's going down the drain. I will watch Dynamite and I will give you my reviews on Dynamite. And no, I will not be doing AEW Dark because I'm not in the AEW Dark. New Japan, I'm just really busy right now and I just want to keep it simple. I can't keep up with G1 even though I love watching G1. I'm just going to keep it at the T. I'll do the big shows for New Japan if I can. Big pay-per-views for Impact if I can, but I'm just keeping it to the T. But this is more of an old school channel, old school reviews, looking back at stuff from the past. I mainly started this so I can look into the WWE product and understand everything that happened. Even though I understand a lot, I want to get it, and I want to know what's happening, and I want to know what can WWE do to fix the current state, and we know what they can do. I already know what they can do. I'm sure you already know what you can do, but maybe if I look back on everything that happened in this business, everything that's happened in this company, we'll have a better understanding. And I can look back at WCW and ECW stuff too and see if anything can be applied to them. But, who knows, right? Why am I here today, though? What's the current situation? Well, I am going to review WWF Wrestlemania 1. This was from March 31st, 1985. This was the very first Wrestlemania ever. Every Sunday, I will do a pay-per-view review, 1 pay-per-view. Also, before I start, I will be reviewing Clash of Champions. That will be a thing. That's a pay-per-view. I'm going to try and keep up with the pay-per-views, but I will review that. That will be out tomorrow. I like to keep my pay-per-views on Sundays, but for this, I don't want to post more than once, and I want to do it when no one's home and no one's around, so it's quiet, so I can think. So that's what I want to do. So Clash of Champions 2020 review will be out tomorrow. How will I do these reviews? Well, pretty simple. I'm not going to go tell you every move for move during the match. If I remember something, I will, but I'm not going to try and stress myself out trying to figure out what's here and what's that, what move or spot here, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to tell you how I feel about the match. Speak from the heart, because that's what I'm going to do. How old am I? 20 years old. How long have I been watching wrestling? 10 years. So I'm not like a genius or anything. I'm not. That's the truth. I'm not going to be a fake and tell you, oh, hey, I watched wrestling and right from out of the womb. Like, no. 2009, 2010 was when I started. But I've studied like 50 years of the business within 10 years. It's insane. I don't watch football. I don't watch baseball. I don't watch hockey or any other basketball or anything like that. I'm pure wrestling. I've studied the business in the last 10 years. 10-year anniversary now. It's crazy. Feels like it was just yesterday. I'm going to try my best to give you my thoughts on everything I watch. I've seen most of this stuff. I've studied ECW, I've studied WCW, I've looked into WWF, I've looked into WWE. The Hulkamania Runs Wild era, the New Generation era, the Attitude era, Ruthless era, like, I know everything. It just, I want to look back at it again because I want to see what went wrong. What WWE can do to apply some of the stuff they used to do that worked, that got people's interest, and put it back in the main roster. That's what I want to do. That's really what I want to do. And NXT as well. But we already know why NXT screwed up. They went into 2 hours on the USA Network, and you know it's going to turn into the main roster. So let's talk about WrestleMania 1. I rewatched some of it, but I've seen it like 30, 40 times now, and I don't think I need to rewatch it again. I'll watch it a little bit more after this, because I'm going to just keep watching pay-per-views throughout the day, and then I'll do one review a week. So, pay-per-view overall, what did I think about it? For all the times I've seen it, it's not your, it's entertaining. It's entertaining. It's not, there's no 5-star classics on here or anything. It's an average show. You know what I'm saying? It's not boring. It's not boring. But it's not, match quality is not up to par to your liking. It's 80s wrestling and WWF at the time. So, you know, entertainment, right? Celebrities. You know the deal. Tito Santana versus the Executioner. Solid match. It wasn't bad at all. You know? It ended with the Executioner tapping out to the figure 4. And Tito Santana getting the win. Before that, he had a flying forearm and knocked the Executioner out. And got the win. It was a solid match. It was a solid opening to the first WrestleMania. Tito Santana and Executioner were the first people to ever open a WrestleMania. First match in WrestleMania history. The match was about 4 minutes, 4.5. You know. Also, you're gonna see is like these matches are short. You know, back in the day, they didn't have like super long matches compared to now. So the match was solid, but nothing special. But you know that they were the first Mania match in history. King Kong Bundy versus Special Delivery Jones. Total squash. It was total squash. Oh, I should probably give my rating on Tito Santana versus Executioner. What was my star rating for that? 2 stars. 2.25. You know, solid. Nothing out of the ordinary. King Kong Bundy versus Special Delivery Jones. Complete squash. King Kong Bundy. They said they obviously lied or botched. I don't know. But they said that King Kong Bundy beat Special Delivery Jones in 9 seconds, which that was not the case. It was actually like 24, 25. I have it on my screen right here. It's not 9 seconds. It was definitely 24, 25. They said he has the record, but that was not even close. They lied, blatantly lied. And yeah, so, but it was still squashed. It's still an impressive defeat, making King Kong Bundy look unstoppable and strong. And obviously they were building him up to be this unstoppable monster because, you know, as you know, they were eventually going to have him face Hogan. So, yeah, so it was a complete squash of Special Delivery Jones. 25 seconds. There's no rating I can give this because, you know, it was barely a match. So, Ricky Steamo versus Matt Bourne. This was a solid match as well. Nothing special, nothing wow, but, you know, Ricky Steamboat hit the dive off the top rope, diving crossbody, and then he got the 1, 2, 3. I gave this match 2.5. You know, not bad. It was solid, but I mean, it was nothing out of the ordinary. The match was at 4.5 minutes as well. So, yeah, I'm not going to go too much in depth into that. Next match is Bruce Beefcake, his manager Johnny Valiant, versus David Sammartino, the son of Bruno Sammartino, who Bruno was at his son's age as well. What did I think about the match? The match was like 11 minutes. This is the second longest match in the card. This got some time. In all honesty, the match isn't special at all. It's actually really boring. Like, no joke, it's boring. David, I don't think he lasted long in this company, honestly. He wasn't a bad wrestler, but he's definitely not his father. He was trying to be in his father's shoes. It didn't work. It did not work. And Brutus Beefcake was just starting out in the WWF at the time. People were just starting to notice him. And he didn't have the barber gimmick yet. He was just a heel with Johnny Valentine. This is a little bit before the Dream Team, where I think they were going to be teaming really soon. So, the match wasn't anything special. It wasn't. It was boring. Boring 11-minute match. I wasn't interested. The number of times I've seen a match, it just was never interesting to me. Besides Johnny Valentine picking up David Sammartino and slamming him on concrete, that's probably the only part that gets me every time. Everything else I just can't invest myself into. It's just boring. A lot of grappling. It's nothing big's going on. They tried to make it a decent match, but didn't really just do anything for me. I'm not saying this match is not getting a rating or anything, but I'm going to probably give it like 1.75 or 2 out of 5 stars. That's what I would give this match. It's nothing that you are going to be wowed by or anything that I would say, go out of your way to watch. That's just my honest opinion. You know what I'm saying? The match ended in a double disqualification, so this little boring match didn't even have a winner at the end of it. It was a double DQ. Wow, classic booking. Get a lot of DQs on WWE today, and then it was done. I'm telling you, like, what I see here, you can tell Vince still has an 80s mentality today. Because he's old. And still thinks from like 30 years ago. So. Junkyard Dog, the challenger. It was Greg Valentine versus Junkyard Dog for the WWF Intercontinental title. Greg Valentine is the champion here, and Junkyard Dog is the challenger. The match was about 7 minutes. It was, nothing special here either. It's not that good of a title match. It ended with Greg Valentine took down Junkyard Dog, put his feet on the top ropes for a pin. But Tito Santana came out because he was in a rivalry with Greg Valentine at the time. And he told the ref, hey, he cheated. He cheated. Like, he put his feet on the ropes. And then the ref said, are you serious? And then he just did the 10 count. And Greg Valentine got counted out instead. So Junkyard Dog wound up winning by count out. But he did not win the IC title because you cannot win the belt, as you guys know, by count out or disqualification. Unless they have some wacky stipulation. They do nowadays, right? So, yeah. That happened, and the match was anything special. I gave it 2 stars. So, yeah, nothing special about this match. This was not that good as well. Tag team match for WWF Tag Team Championship. This match was about the same time as the last one, and it was the U.S. Express, the champions versus the challengers, the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov. The Iron Sheik and Nikolai were a good team. I like this team. They knew how to get heat. They get booed, and at the time with the Russia and all that, Soviet Union and all that, during this time period they got heat. But they always, whenever they were singing the Russian national anthem, they got trash thrown at them. Everyone hated them. Obviously, you can't throw trash in the ring today, but back then, it was crazy how people would throw trash in the ring at these people. That's heat. That's heat. What was the match like? How good was it? It was actually a decent tag match. It wasn't bad at all. I've never been bored watching this match. Obviously, the rating isn't very high because, again, the match is super short. So, but I enjoyed it for what it was. The Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov wound up getting the win, and they became the new WWF Tag Team Champions. They won by cheating, as a heel faction would do, and a heel team. I don't know why I said faction. Heel team. They hit him with the Freddie Blas's cane. They hit him. I think it was Barry Windham when they got hit. He went down. He got knocked out. 1, 2, 3, and they got the win. So decent match. A decent match. I gave it 2.5 stars. So yeah, nothing too bad. Andre the Giant versus Big John Studd in a career. Andre the Giant's career was on the line versus $15,000 that Big John Studd put on the line. So it was Andre's career versus $15,000. So I think if I remember, if any man that won, they would get the money. I think Big John Studd keeps it, and if Andre won, he'd get the 15 grand, and his career would be still intact. This match sucks. The only memorable thing is, if you've seen video packages of WWE over the years, you see Andre slamming Big John Studd. Do you remember anything else that happened in that? Even if you've never seen the match before, what's the first thing you think of when you hear about this match? The slam. What's the first thing you image? The slam. What else happened before that? Absolutely nothing. Match sucked. I mean, it was awful. Not even a wrestling match. Just grappling, pushing each other in the corners. It was nothing. And obviously, Andre was getting to the point of his career where he was not moving that well because of his condition and his health at this point. It was getting worse year by year. So, this match did nothing for me. The only thing you will remember, like I've mentioned countless times, is the slam. It is the slam. It is the slam. And you've seen it in video packages, and you probably picture it in your head. But you'll never remember anything else that happened in the middle, because nothing happened in the middle of that. Nothing. And then after the match, Andre's throwing the money in the crowd, throwing the money, and then Bobby Heenan just comes back and steals it back. I'm like, no, boy, that's my money. Like, I don't want that. So, yeah, so I don't give a rating on that match. I never do. It just was not a wrestling match to me, so I'm not giving a rating on that. Next, singles match for WWF Women's Championship. It was Lani Kai versus Wendy Richter. Lani Kai was the champion at this point, and Wendy Richter's the challenger. What was the match? How did I feel about it? Actually, it was a decent match. Not too bad. It was not a bad women's match whatsoever. It was about 6 minutes, though. Again, these matches are really short. At this time period, they had really short matches. So it's hard for me to give high ratings for these. It was not a bad match. I think, if I remember how it ended, Lani Kai tried going for a diving crossbody off the top rope. And Wendy Richter used her momentum and did like a back somersault or something. And then got her with a pin, 1, 2, 3, and reversed it. That's how she won. If I described that right. Sorry if I botched that, I'm sorry. But yeah, that's kind of how it ended. And it was not bad. It was decent. It was solid. Or maybe I'll say solid. I don't know. But it was decent for what it was. You know, when I first saw the match pop up on the screen, I'm like, it's probably not going to be that good. But then it was actually not that bad. Not bad. Solid. I'll give it 2 1/4. Nothing too bad. I'll give it 2 1/4 stars. 2.25. Next is your main event. Yep, it's your main event, guys. Hulk Hogan and Mr. T versus Paul Orndorff and Roddy Piper. Jimmy Snuka is in the corner of Mr. T and Hogan, and Bob Orton is in the corner of Orndorff and Roddy Piper. Also, we had 2 special guest referees. We had Muhammad Ali on the outside and Pat Patterson in the ring. Muhammad Ali was originally supposed to be the only special guest referee, but he was really sick getting into the arena, as if you've seen in documentaries. So Pat Patterson took the role in the ring because Muhammad Ali was not in any condition to referee inside it, so they kept him as like more of an outside enforcer. So that was an interesting thing I learned about a number of years ago. Hulk Hogan and Mr. T. What I learned is that Jimmy Snuka was originally supposed to be the guy teaming with Hogan, but they picked Mr. T instead. And there was some animosity between, some grudges with, Roddy Piper's described it too, but I have to look back on it. I don't want to give you false information. But this match was definitely match of the night. The best match in the card. Main event, best match of the card. I was into it through and through the times I've watched it. It's a fun match. Nothing that you can go watch 20 or 30 times, but I think it's fun to watch based off the memory of it and the first WrestleMania. If you ever want to just look back and see what the first WrestleMania was like, the match I probably would say that represents that is this one. And watch the main event. That's what I would say. I gave this match 3 stars. So it was a fun match. Nothing special out of the ordinary, but like it was like I was into it. I've seen it. I've kept my attention to it. It was a fun tag match. That's all I can say. Hulk Hogan and Mr. T wound up getting the win. It was breaking down, chaos all over ringside. Jimmy Snuka is walking in, Bob Orton's coming in. Jimmy Snuka hits a headbutt to Bob Orton, and he flies out into the outside. And then like Roddy Piper is trying to help Paul Orndorff. I think Paul Orndorff had Hogan, and then Roddy was about to run in and hit him. And then Mr. T blocked him from hitting Hogan. So then Bob Orton gets on the top rope. He's like, come on, I'm going to hit him with the cast. And then Hogan used his weight and momentum and turned Orndorff. And then Bob Orton hit his cast in the back of Orndorff's neck, or back of the head. And he was knocked out. Bob Orton gets hit out of the ring. Hogan goes for the pin. 1, 2, 3. And Mr. T and Hogan won your main event. Fun tag match. And this led to Paul Orndorff being pissed off that Roddy Piper and Bob Orton just left him in the middle of the ring, knocked out unconscious. He felt betrayed, and this was obviously the point where they were turning Paul Orndorff into a babyface. So they turned him into a babyface. Or it was the start of turning him into a babyface. So yeah. WrestleMania 1 is not a terrible show. It's an average show. It is nothing that I would say that you have to watch. But if you want to learn it for historical purposes, that is the show to watch. If you don't want to, then you don't have to. It's nothing you have to watch. If you really want, if I really gave you an honest opinion, just watch the main event. Then you're good. Right? Obviously, you can read things online, too, and learn about it as well. But if you really want to see it for historical purposes, to get a better idea what the first WrestleMania was like, this is your show. Check this one out. So, yeah. What would I give the overall grade for this show? I've done this so many times, but I keep always switching. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. Average in the middle. 5 out of 10. Nothing out of the ordinary, nothing special. It had some of its fun moments, but I'm not going to give it too high of a score. So, 5 out of 10. We'll give it 5 out of 10. Alright, so hope you liked that first review, and I hope you enjoyed it. I will be doing more of these. Tomorrow, I will be doing an old school Raw. How will I be doing these Raws? I will be doing episodes 1 through 3. I am not going to be doing one at a time. I'm going to do 3 in one video. And I will go over those. I'll be going over 1 through 3. And we'll talk about it. We'll go over it. See what y'all think. And next week, I will be going over the Wrestling Classic 1985. We will be talking about Wrestling Classic 1985, the tournament, the 16-man tournament that they held. And later tomorrow, also, we will be talking about WWE Clash of Champions 2020. I will be talking about it and doing a review on that. So, tomorrow, Old School Raw, and Clash of Champions. Also, we will be talking about, next week, we'll be talking about Wrestling Classic 1985. The one Wrestling Classic, the 16-man tournament. Alright, I'm done. Hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe for more. I'll be having more videos out like this when I can. And alright, see you later, guys.